When she was at Animal Friends, her name was Alba, and then I later renamed her to Muse. At the time, I had actually been reading a lot of Greek retellings, and in original Greek epics, they always start the story by invoking the muse. And I thought that's actually perfect for her, because that's kind of, in a very cliche way, what she was for me. We noticed very early on that she was, in fact, very different. She did not want to come out of her kennel at all. You know, she was terrified to be leashed. When you touched her, her whole body tensed. It was very, very sad. When she went into foster the first time, that really solidified that she was a very special case. She immediately, upon arriving to that foster home, ran into the basement, hid behind a water heater, and did not move for several days. So that's when we really had to kind of regroup and think, okay, we're gonna have to take a little bit more of a different approach with her. Animal Friends has staff and volunteers who've been here for a long time, who've seen, you know, cases where we've pulled whole groups of dogs from commercial breeding operations. So we have a basic framework, but we know that we have to get to know that individual dog, what their individual concerns are, what their individual fears are, and really work from there. So while there is a ton of knowledge and wisdom on what to do, it's how we specialize that plan to a particular dog that I think we do so incredibly well in Animal Friends, and really what makes us unique. When Muse came back from foster the second time, she had gone into this foster twice, and we thought we had kind of gotten her onto a reasonably okay path. She had, once again, been so afraid to come out of her crate. She wouldn't come out to go to the bathroom. She would not come out to eat. The crate was very messy. She was very messy, and we had to bathe her. We had to clean out her crate, and that was really, really hard for her. We didn't want to do it, but we also didn't want her to have to live like that. It was very uncomfortable. When we were giving her that bath, I remember thinking, like, we have to do something. She needed more of a concentrated effort. And I had a space in my office, and I had to make an effort to be more intentional in my movement. I would talk to her a lot. You know, if I was gonna get up, I would tell her I was gonna get up. Not that she understood the words, but just so that it wasn't jarring that I immediately stood. I would toss treats, high value treats every once in a while. For the first few days, she didn't touch them unless I left. But then, you know, I would turn around and I would notice they weren't there anymore. And so I started to get a little bit excited, like, okay, maybe she's getting comfortable in here. One of the staff had a Furbo camera that she had asked whether we wanted to use for Muse. From the first day that we set that camera up, it became kind of an obsession watching her, because she was very active at night. She would come out, she would grab her blankets, I would leave toys out, and that's when I kind of learned about her little collecting habit. She will take anything that's out and take it back into her crate with her. That was when we learned that she's very vocal when she's left alone. She would howl a lot, she would bark. Maybe she doesn't want to be alone, you know, but it was kind of hard to see that, but it was also so good to know, like, there's somebody in there. Even though she's so shut down with us, there is somebody in there. There's somebody who does see and enjoy being a dog. That's her whole world was this office. Now, is it probably better than what she had? Yes, but at that point for me, that wasn't enough for her. And I wanted to be able to give her a space to safely explore that and to continue to learn how to engage with the world in a way that felt safe for her. And so that's kind of when I thought, you know, up until that point, I already have 2 dogs. I already, you know, I'm here a lot, you know, I have a lot going on, but at that point I just thought, I think I can do this. Like, I think we can set this up and make this a safe, comfortable place for her, at first temporarily, but then I kind of knew in the back of my mind that once I put her in the car and drove her home, she probably wasn't going to leave again. I knew that taking the drive was she was gonna regress. I wanted to do everything I could to kind of protect her from being too overwhelmed. I said, we're just going to let her settle in. We're gonna give it 2 weeks. We'll do feeding, cleaning, you know, give her some enrichment items, but other than that, we're gonna let her settle. The first day, she was pretty shut down again. I don't know that she came out of her crate at all. The second day she was eating, and to me that was huge because I knew from her previous foster experiences that she wouldn't eat at all. And so I thought, okay, this is a sign. Let's just keep going with this plan. I started kind of slowly introducing her to my dogs by opening the door, and there was a gate and she could see them. And we kind of gradually did that introduction until they could kind of all supervise, be out together. She kind of perked up in that situation. She kind of perked up, and I could kind of see she was definitely still concerned, like, what's happening? But she didn't run away. She didn't immediately retreat. She didn't completely freeze. Like, she was engaging with them awkwardly, but she was doing it. There was definitely a moment I was certain she was gonna stay, and I actually have a picture of it. We were outside. Miley and Maverick were just kind of hanging out, standing there, and she was a little bit in front of them. She just kind of laid down, rolled onto her hip, and was panting and just had her eyes closed, and she had happy dog face, and I just thought, okay, she feels safe here. She feels comfortable here. We got this. You know, we can make this work. I watch her in amazement almost every day. She seems to really enjoy her life now. She's never lost that need to collect things, so every toy in the whole house ends up in her bed. She's just so much more comfortable in her routine. We do the same thing pretty much every day. That's very important for her. She has come so far from where she was those first few days, those first few weeks, but she will never be normal. You know, her story isn't one of this miraculous rehabilitation. Her world is very small, but that's what she needs, and that's what she wants, and that's how she feels safe, and it's so important that it stays that way. I think all the time about what would have happened if she ended up somewhere else, if she ended up with someone else, if she ended up at another facility. She is probably one of the most damaged dogs that I have personally ever met or worked with, and I think that had she gone somewhere else, I don't know that she would be where she is today. You know, Animal Friends is not only an organization that has the ability and the willingness and the commitment to work with animals that have truly no other option, whether that's because they have a medical issue or a behavior issue like Muse. It's the community in Animal Friends that makes all of that possible. It's the staff, it's the volunteers, it's the supporters, it's the donors. That makes it possible for us to take animals like Muse and look at their care as holistically as we possibly can, and know that everything that we do from the time she comes to us until the time she's adopted is individually tailored to what she needs. It's truly, you know, they say it takes a village, and that is so true here. There's not a moment that goes by that I don't feel so grateful to be able to be a part of such a special community, because animals like Muse truly don't have options anywhere else. And to be able to be a small part of making the world a better place for them is an incredible honor, and I think that we do it the best of anybody.